I just want to jump over to this car that we have behind us because viewers, it's quite a special car as well. 1953 Packard, Bob, and in this black color. I'm guessing that back in the early 50s that there were not as many color choices as there might have been in the later 50s. Would that be fair to say?
Probably. I don't remember the 53 all that much. I was only 14 years of age. But certainly you could get them in colors other than black, but they were kind of the high-end family car, I guess. They were in the same category as Cadillac and Chrysler and Lincoln. So black was, I guess, traditional for that.
Can you tell us a little bit about this vehicle and what it means to you and also to Kay?
This was my wife Kay's mother's car back in the 50s, and it was just a family car. And when her mother passed away, the car was simply parked in a house in Barrie and was there until her father passed away in the 90s, and we dragged it out in a kind of a sorry state and restored it for her. So it's her car, not my car.
So this is, come on down, Bob, this is Kay's daily driver, would it be? Or was this Kay's special car that she takes out on gorgeous days like today?
This is actually Kay's car that she takes out maybe twice a year to car shows, that she says it collects vintage men for her.
It certainly looks like it could collect a lot of vintage men, only because it's huge inside, absolutely huge inside. Can you just comment a little bit about perhaps the restoration and the passion that both you and Kay have for this car?
Well, it was restored as a driver, not a show car. I made no attempts to take it back to anything like a matching car, matching numbers, interior. However, it turned out to be good enough that at shows it does attract quite a bit of attention, only because you seldom see one.
Do you have any sense of how many there are here in Ontario or Southern Ontario of this vintage?
I really don't. I can say that I've probably seen a handful of 53, 54 Packards at shows, and I go to quite a few. There are some around, but...
What are some of the special features that this car has that was perhaps ahead of its time? You'd commented about them being sort of along the lines of the Cadillac and that sort of thing. What sort of features, comfort features, does this car have?
Well, it has power steering, power brakes, automatic transmission. Packard designed their own automatic called an Ultramatic. Wasn't all that successful, and it's probably the one thing of this car that's a bit of an issue. But certainly they were noted for their ride, certainly not their handling because they're a big, heavy lump, but a wonderful car to drive.
What sort of suspension are we looking at the back? Is it a leaf spring or a coil spring?
It's leaf spring rear and coil spring front, very standard.
Great. Are we able to start this up?
Hopefully.
Okay. Any choke, or is it an automatic choke?
It is an automatic choke, 4-barrel carburetor, and the best feature of this that no one could steal it because no one could figure out how to start it. You have to push the accelerator pedal down to the floor, and that's the starter.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Isn't that interesting? You're right. So the key ignition would go on, and then you press the accelerator right down to the floor.
And it triggers a little switch on the carburetor. There's a start switch on the side of the carburetor.
Sounds great. Absolutely sounds great.
It actually is a 327 cubic inch. Most people think of that as a Chevy V8, but this is a 327 cubic inch straight 8.
Bob, I just want to say how much we enjoyed spending time with you here in Clearview today, and want to thank you on behalf of Georgian Bay Classics for spending time with us and sharing your beautiful classics.
Thank you, Mark.